This interview is being brought to you by BabyFightGear.com. Baby Fight Gear is dedicated to providing a single source for children's mixed martial arts. Inspired clothing, the softer side of tough sports. Our clothing is available in sizes newborn to toddler. Hey guys, it's Mark Anderson here of LateNightMMA.com. Thanks for checking out another video prediction. This time we're going to break down this Strikeforce card going on this weekend, this Saturday night in Sacramento, California. And the first fight we're going to break down is Mike Bravo. He's a local kid from Sacramento. We did an interview with him. Be sure to check that out later this week. But anyways, he's coming off 3 fights in a row where he got the stoppages. So he's really on a roll here. And he's going to be taking on Estevan Payne. And Payne has won 7 fights in a row. An undefeated streak dating back to 2009. So you really got to look at going with Payne in this spot. But I think the hometown kid, you know, he's got a nice streak of his own going. And he's going to be able to pull off the victory. So I'm going with Mike Bravo in this spot. Okay, guys, the next fight, Kat Zingano. She's going to be taking on Amanda Nunes. And everyone knows Amanda Nunes. She's fought a few times in Strikeforce here. But her last fight in Strikeforce was a loss to Alexis Davis, where Davis actually stopped her via TKO. So, you know, she didn't do so well in that fight. She's bounced back. She was on the Invicta 2 card. So she's got it going on. Okay, now Kat. Wow. What can you say about this chick, man? Kat is the real deal. 6-0, 5 of those wins via stoppage. And in her last fight, she slammed her opponent, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to go with Kat for the upset. Let's keep this rolling. Let's move down the list. Next up, we got Yuri Villefort. He's taking on Nah-Shon Burrell. And Yuri is coming off a loss to Quinn Mulhern, and Quinn is like 18-2, so, you know, he's a hell of a fighter. And that was a split decision loss, so that fight could have gone either way. Meanwhile, Nah-Shon is 3-1 in Strikeforce, although his last fight, he got TKO'd in the first. Tough fight to break down right here. Like, this is a really good matchup, but I gotta pick someone. I'm just gonna throw it out there and go with Nah-Shon Burrell for the victory. Okay, guys, struggle with some of these names, but going to keep it rolling here. Mizuto, Hirata, I believe. He's a Japanese guy. He just faced Patrick Healy on the last show. Anyways, he's stepping up and he's facing George Gurgel here. And Mizuto is 14-5 in his career. And like I said, he's coming off that loss to Pat Healy. A lot of people thought Pat Healy lost that fight. The fight card was in Portland, Oregon, so he might have got a favorable decision from the judges there, guys. So, anyways, George Gurgel. He's lost 3 of his last 4 Strikeforce fights. If he loses this one, he could be done. Because that'd be 4 losses in 5 fights in Strikeforce. Sorry, Georgie. Let's see, what else can I tell you about George Gurgel? He has not had a fight in 13 months. So he's lost 3 of his last 4. No fight in 13 months. Done, buddy. You ain't getting this win. So I'm going to go with the Japanese fighter in this spot. Okay, let's move on down. We got Mike Kyle. Mike Kyle's back, and he's going to be taking on Dion Starring. And Mike Kyle, you know, hell of a fighter. Mike's coming off that no contest in May, and he'll be looking to get back on track here, guys. Now, Dion Starring's 28-7 and has won 6 fights in a row. But you know what? Dion Starring has not faced the competition that Mike Kyle has. So I'm going with Mike to get the win in this spot. And I'm going to say early stoppage. Okay, so that wraps up the prelim card. Let's take a look here at the Strikeforce main card. And the first fight up is Josh the Punk Thomson. And he's taking on Caros Fodor. Okay, so Josh is coming off that loss to Melendez a few months back. His record is 19-5. And Caros Fodor is coming off that loss a few months back as well. He lost to Patrick Healy. And didn't look good at all in that fight, I'll be honest with you. But I'm sure he can bounce back here. This guy is 5-1 in the Strikeforce cage. Great dude. We always have him on the show, and we did a pre-fight interview with him too. So I'm going to go with Caros Fodor for a major upset. I can't wait to see the betting lines on this because really like Caros in this spot. Okay, guys, let's keep moving on down the list. Next up is Quinn Mulhern. As I was talking about him earlier, he's 18-2. Awesome fighter, man. Coming off a split decision win there. And he's going to be taking on a newcomer to the promotion anyways, George Santiago. He's 25-10, former UFC fighter. What else can I tell you about this fight here? Quinn has also won 3 fights in a row in the Strikeforce cage, and that's pretty much it. Meanwhile, Santiago has won 2 in a row, and like I said, this is his Strikeforce debut. So I'm going to go with Quinn here. You know, this is a step up in competition for Mulhern, but I think he can handle it, and he gets the job done in this fight. Okay, we'll keep going down. We got Isaac Vallie-Flag versus Adriano Martins. Hopefully I pronounced that name. Isaac is 13-3 and is coming off back-to-back split decision victories in the Strikeforce cage. And he hasn't lost a fight dating back to 2007. 2007. That's a long-ass time, guys. I will like to take Isaac Vallie-Flag in this spot. Let's just see if there's any other stats here that would be interesting. Adriano is 23-6, and he's more of a brawler. He's won back-to-back fights via TKO in the first minute in his last 2 fights. So he's dangerous. He's going to want to throw down. But you know, Isaac Vallie-Flag, Greg Jackson fighter, he's going to come in with a game plan. And usually those game plans are really solid, so I'm going to go with him to get this victory. Okay, co-main event time, guys. We got Carlos Filho, and he's taking on Gian Villante. I got Gian Villante in this one as well. Just to talk a little bit about the fighters, though. Carlos is 6-0 and is coming off his biggest win to date in his Strikeforce debut against Virgil Zwicker. Okay, guys. And Villante has won 3 fights in a row in the Strikeforce cage, and he is 10-3 overall. So as I mentioned earlier, Villante is my pick in this one. And let's talk main event now, guys. Gilbert Melendez. 23-2, I think? 21-2. And he hasn't lost since 2008 in that fight with Josh the Punk Thomson. So he's got his game on. I think, like, what can you say about Gilbert Melendez? I think he is one of the best fighters in the world. And hopefully someday we get to see him test his skills against, you know, the best fighters in the world. Okay, so let's talk about Patrick Healy. 28-16. His last fight didn't look so good. As I mentioned earlier, I think he won a bullshit decision. And, you know, like, Healy's huge. Healy is really a big lightweight. So maybe that'll be a factor against Gilbert. But I really see Gilbert winning this fight. I think it's going to go all 5 rounds, and he'll get a decision victory. Like, I see him winning pretty much every round. Okay, guys, so these were my predictions. Be sure to hit me up on Twitter at Radio MMA. Visit the website, www.latenightmma.com. And thanks for checking out the video. And subscribe, please, guys, because we're giving away shirts, we're giving away MMA merchandise, autographed pictures, we're doing the whole deal up. So subscribe to my videos, and I appreciate it. Later.